Good morning, everyone. Welcome on in. Welcome. Ah, hello. For those who do not know me, hi, my name is Lila. I'm a heaven hound. I'm an isekai protagonist, and I am also the strongest shaman. How are you all doing today? Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Anyhow, um, so this morning, I have a different kind of plan, a different kind of stream. We're gonna try and sort of relax a little and do a little meditation. We're also going to see if we can maybe do a guided meditation. I have specific things in mind. I think it could be a lot of fun. Um, I know some people have a hard time meditating. I will say that there are a lot of different methods of meditation. There are a lot of different ways to go about trying to meditate, trying to get oneself into a nice, relaxed state where they're able to, um, focus and concentrate and kind of go into a meditative state, change your brain waves and stuff. Um, so I'm not sure where we'll get started. It may depend if there's anyone in chat who's like, but I've never meditated before. We're gonna go through steps, and there's gonna be specific kind of meditation. There's many different kinds, many. Some people work better with moving meditations like Tai Chi or potentially ecstatic dance. Some people need more of the quiet, like super quiet. Some people just need like some music on in the background to kind of get their head in the right space. I find drums to be extremely useful. Just very rhythmic drumming, going like at kind of the same rate as your heartbeat. I once heard it put as the idea is there is the I think they called it the monkey mind, but essentially, parts of our brain are always uh, dealing with the problems of being an animal, right? Like part of your brain needs to make sure you keep breathing. A part of your brain needs to make sure you're worried about your physical safety. Part of your brain reminds you that you're hungry, etc. Um, Now I'm gonna say that as far as all that goes, um, as far as all that goes, what a lot of meditation does is try to quiet those parts of the mind that just distract you, right? Like the not so much the obviously breathing or being hungry thing, but try to quiet down the parts that are like, what if someone's gonna get me? What if someone's watching? Any kind of anxieties, too much focus on worries about what you're gonna do. Like, what am I gonna have for lunch? What am I gonna have for lunch? It's important. It's trying to quiet a lot of that so you can kind of focus. And so meditation can do that through, just altering your consciousness by paying attention to your breathing. So breathing and focusing on that is a very good way to focus one's attention and avoid like I don't know, avoid getting stuck in your own head and worrying about those other things because you pay a lot of attention to your breathing and usually we don't. You'll notice things. You'll notice the sound of it. You'll notice the inflation of your lungs. You will notice the way that the air moves through your nasal cavity looking down through your throat and into your lungs. And the thing is, so there's a lot of things you can use. Like when you really pay attention to your breathing, there's lots of things to kind of focus on. And having that focus can distract the quote unquote the monkey mind. It can keep you from being too caught up in your own thoughts. And suddenly you're paying attention to the here and now and what you're doing. And that opens up your brain to kind of do other things. So breathing is one of the best tools. I would say to get people into the right mindset, drum beats would be one of the most other, I think, common methods to kind of get one's state of mind into a productive and cleared state. But it's all different for different people. So if one kind of meditation doesn't work for you, I highly recommend going and looking to other styles, other ways of doing meditation. Why is my mouth tracking utterly borked? My screen shows it moving, but my lips don't seem to want to move at all. Like I don't understand. Um, I don't know. Mm, maybe it looks better than I think. maybe, maybe a little. Um, so yeah, I think probably to start, I will kind of, so I'm talking about meditation in general as a start to just kind of get people's feet wet. The next thing I'm going to go into is the specifics of the kind of meditation I would like to do today is going to be a guided meditation. The specific content of it is going to be a guided meditation. And so depending on how you look at it, it may be an external thing, it may be an internal thing, it might be a journey into one's own mind. But the point is we're going to try and have an adventure. And by taking the idea of having an adventure seriously on some level, I think we're going to I think that is going to add to our ability to really appreciate um, the adventure itself if we take it seriously. Because if we just kind of jump in and just go, it'll feel just kind of like an imagination game, sure. But I think the more steps we put in, the more we get our brain into it, the more fun we're going to have. So, some of this is going to follow some things that are very similar to methods of astral projection. Now, astral projection, I'm sure anybody who's seen Doctor Strange has at least some idea of it, but it is the idea of having your consciousness leave your normal body. And in this case, I hate saying a guided meditation and astral projection are very difficult to distinguish one from the other when it comes right down to it. Um, so whether we're doing one or the other may be hard to really say, but because the methods are so similar. So the plan, I think, will be to treat this as if we're doing an astral projection. Whether you believe in it or not isn't important. The important thing is that you kind of follow through the steps and take it at least seriously for the moment and then have fun. Hi, Corgi! Hello, hello! Are you ready to go on an astral journey? You miss Blink? Oh, oh, it worked! Yay! Alright. It's blinking time. It's blinking time. It's good to see you. It's been a little bit. It's been a little bit. So, what are we getting up to? Yeah, we're going to be doing meditation. We're going to be doing meditation in an astral journey kind of thing. And like I said, we're going to take it seriously as if it is, in fact, a real astral projection. That way, the guided meditation journey, it will get our brain on the right track to really experience this stuff a little more fully. Things have been super busy. I moved to another state. That's happening a lot. A lot of people moving. A lot of people have been moving to other states, I've seen recently. Just a lot of moving and shuffling around. The great migration has begun. Got myself a little tea and a little water this morning. Mm. Okay, so treating this as astral projection, we're going to want to do a few things to really kind of get ourselves ready. Um, so usually we want to, let's see, what order do we want to do these in? Hmm. Because some of it can move around a little bit. But okay. So the first thing we're going to try to do is ground out. Now, the idea of grounding, it's very simple. It is kind of getting rid of any excess energy we don't need to do the thing. So in this case, some of the simplest methods I have found. One is if you want a quick, simple physical action, find a piece of metal or a cool stone if you have one. If you don't, and I would recommend, a little more sizable if possible. But, you'll notice the metal is cool. And that means heat is moving from you into that object. So you're moving energy into something else. So grounding out, one of the easiest methods, we're gonna do two, because you may not have a piece of metal nearby. And I also know some people are not very strong visualizers. They don't have, like, they may have aphantasia or whatever. It may be difficult for them to visualize. This is a good way to ground out without having to visualize if needed. But yeah, a cool surface. I think stones and metals work best, but I have a ceramic plate that is actually pretty cool. And so I'm going to hold on to that. I know scientifically that the heat from my body is going into it because it's cooler than I am. And now I just have to kind of imagine that other energies, other excess energies are just flowing kind of, down like through my body, almost like following my bloodstream, and then flowing down my shoulders, through my arms, my hands, out my fingertips, and into this object. Just slowly but surely, all the excess energy is coming out into this object I'm touching. And then all the excess energy, feel your kind of internal temp kind of cool down just a little, just to a comfortable level. And when you feel like you've kind of got rid of any nervous extra energy, anything that's going to get in the way, let go on that. Now, the other way to do this, now obviously I threw a little visualization in there, but it is not too hard to just imagine touching a cold thing is pulling energy out of you, and just hold on to it until you feel like you've kind of gotten out anything excessive you don't need. Okay. Once we're done with that step, so that's grounding, meditative grounding. And you don't need to do this if the first technique worked for you, but if you don't have a cool object, um, the most common method I know is to imagine you just plant your feet firmly on the ground. It doesn't matter if it's, just on the floor or carpet or whatever surface it happens to be. Put your feet firmly on the ground and kind of imagine that your feet are connecting down almost like the roots of a tree into the earth. And as you do that, the earthy, like you kind of grow roots essentially, grow roots down into the earth. Connect with it much like a tree. If you like, you can raise your arms up and imagine your fingers have become branches or leaves, and that earth energy will float up through your roots, into your feet, into your legs, up through your body, out to your fingertips, to your quote unquote branches. And then imagine that your other energy kind of churns down into the earth, gets fed into it before more of that earthy energy gets up. And so it's an exchange. It's an exchange with that earthly energy. And that continues on until you feel like any kind of nervousness or extra, anything you need to get rid of, the earth can absorb it all. We've lived here our whole lives. It's really big. Your body heat is nothing compared to the size of the planet. So, and then once you kind of feel good with it, just kind of, bring your arms back down, let your brush your hands together. Good way to kind of get rid of any weird residual feelings. You just fingers again. You don't have branches. You kind of imagine the roots just pull back up into your feet. You don't, and then wiggle your feet a little and get them up off the floor. And now, okay, we should be grounded after one of those two methods. Okay, the next thing we want to do, like I said, this is all like so that we're taking this whole idea of we're actually projecting seriously, is we need to do a cleanse. This is the idea of getting in it, because the first one's getting rid of excess energy, so there's nothing kind of distracting or being a bad side product. This part is about getting rid of the icky. This is about getting rid of the icky energy, the bad energy. I recommend, for physical method, easy method, is take, if you have some water, you should. Everyone is in your hydrate check. If you do not have water, go get some. I have water, and I got tea. But we do not obviously have time to take a full shower. My recommendation is dip if you feel comfortable doing so. Take a small amount of water, and then I wipe it across my forehead. I do specifically kind of aim for the little bullseye that's kind of between your brows and a little bit up, sort of where your third eye is supposed to be, and wipe that off a little. And that water energy kind of goes, and it should kind of rush out, go down your body, all over. Hydrate or dihydrate, hydrate or die straight. That's right, Nicole, that's right. Well, come on in. Thank you for coming on in. Hydrate or die straight. That's what some people say. So letting that water kind of wash down ourselves, right? We can let all the icky stuff kind of just kind of wash off of us. I like to use a little bit of water because it's a nice physical thing, even if you can't imagine it real well. You've hit that water. That water's happened. You've cleansed a little bit, and you've hit that third eye, which is your supposed psychic center kind of thing. That's a good spot to hit. And if it's not enough, like do a few more dabs of it, and try to let it until you feel like you're in a good spot. Okay. Um. Now, obviously, you could just do this fully meditative, where you just sort of imagine that water has come rushing down on you like a waterfall, and just drips over your whole body and cleanses all that stuff out. Now, there's other elements we could use. If you have your own element that really calls to you, you can imagine, and I do have to, not me trying to do this with condensation for my seltzer can. Go for it. It's fine. Whatever method works. Heck, your seltzer can could also be used for the whole grounding thing. Like I said, just touching something nice and cool and knowing that's pulling that excess energy out of your body. But yeah, get a little condensation, wipe it across your forehead. But you can just imagine it like a waterfall coming down over you and washing things out. If you have another element you really connect with, if you're like, I'm not a water person, I don't like water, you can cleanse with other stuff. if it works for you, if you have your own method. Or just a blank. What is that? My chat program's trying to tell me things, but I don't know what it said. I'm gonna go and look on YouTube, and it said something different than what is there. Mama. Um, yeah, I'm not. Oh, fire. Yeah, fire. Firework. Oh, now the fire loads, obviously. It just left me with a weird blank on my little chatty program. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if fire works for you, fire is a very powerful cleanser. So, you know, don't burn yourself, obviously. But if you need a physical thing and you're safe to do so, you could just light a lighter in front of you and let that burn off whatever bad energies are on you. Just give it a little wave around. We're just trying to make sure anything icky is off of us and we're all nice and clean. Grounds to coffee. Coffee grounds are definitely a thing, but I never thought about it. My element is coffee. I am the coffee bender. It'll be pretty good, right? Yeah. All right. If everybody's following along, feeling pretty good with how they've cleansed at this point, the last thing we're going to do is shield. This is are we gonna do anything else? No, we're gonna just shield. Um, so for shielding, it's kind of the idea of, just like right now we've done some grounding. We're getting rid of anything distracting for us. Um, and then we've, gone and taken our shower essentially with cleansing. This is putting on our clothes. This is making sure we have a barrier between us and the world that makes it easier for us to do what we're going to do. So, once again, if we're doing this, take it seriously. I like to give a physical method that is easy for people to do if their visualization is not particularly strong. In this one, if you still have a piece of metal, I do think metal is a very good element, I guess, for doing these things. Um, what I will do for my non-visualized element is I will take a piece of metal. Do I have one near me? I do. It's very small. Very small piece of metal, but it is a piece of metal. So I will take that piece of metal and I will kind of put it close to my skin to where I almost feel it. Like you get that proprioception feel of when you're bringing something really close and you feel like when it's about to hit, but take it real close. And then I like to run it like down either my arm or maybe my face. Kind of like a magnet. And I will just take it and pass it by me. With the idea being just like you can use a magnet to like magnetize a metal, you're putting the energy of that metal into your, in quotes, aura. We're going to go with aura for right now. Like I said, we're taking this serious. So we can have a good adventure. We run it down through our aura until it picks up that metal energy and your aura becomes strong and tough like metal, like steel. And that's and you just kind of do that a couple times. It might tingle a little. That's probably that means it's working. That means it's working. But once you've gotten that kind of sorted out a little bit, you should feel kind of strong, kind of a little tougher, kind of a little more ready to go. All right. Now, the other way you can do this, there's a lot of different ways to do this, but the other one is kind of, if you can just visualize, I would say imagine having a force field. Um, And if we want to make it feel a little more solid, we can go into a deeper like visualization on it. Like a force field is about where it needs to be, but I would say let's see, good method, good method. I know a lot of methods now. I'm just trying to pick one. I would say start at your feet. Kind of imagine a light. Could be white light, but I would say pick a color that resonates. You know, it's your force field. Make it the color you want it to be, as long as it feels strong. And imagine this light kind of glowing and forming a bubble. Comes up around your feet, goes up over your legs, and meets together, kind of over your butt and your crotch. Comes up, and it's just a couple inches away from your skin, right? Just a couple inches away. Comes up past your hips, over your belly, over your chest, up over your shoulders, and then it starts to stretch out down your arms till it encapsulates all the way over your fingers, and then up your neck, over your chin, your lips, cheeks, your ears, up over your head until it forms a complete bubble. A glowy light bubble. Not super bright, just a little glow. Can even be invisible if you can imagine it being invisible. And it forms a nice kind of strong membrane through which, light and sound and air and all the important things you need to live can come through, but it keeps out everything else you don't need. Right? So it works. It works very well. It lets in what you need. It keeps in what you need. It keeps out what you don't. It's good. All right. So this is my little check-in with everyone who happens to be here. Does everybody feel that they are grounded and shielded and cleansed? I like to check in because I want to make sure everyone's comfy. Because we're gonna start moving on to the more interesting stuff. You're feeling good, Corgi? Okay. Now, this is kind of like my speed run check because I don't always know if everybody has taken the time to ground, to cleanse, and shield, especially since we keep getting new people. Hello, new people. So I'm going to just kind of, if everyone's all right, we're gonna do the speed run version where I'm just going to kind of here. I gotta power up, everyone. I gotta power up. It'll be easier if I'm powered up. There we go. Okay, powered up. So I'm going to sort of put my hands towards the screen, and I'm just going to put out one quick pulse, cleansing. One quick pulse of grounding assistance. And then a quick bubbly shield. Okay. I think everybody should feel nice and cozy and good, ready to go for a little guided meditation journey. I gotta get myself back into proper shape. Everything's dark and glowy. Okay, we good now? I think, yeah, we're good. We're back. We're back, baby. Alright, so we're all ready to go. I hope I'm ready to go. Did a lot of work to get here. So we're all suited up. We're all ready to go on a little journey. I'm gonna tell you the kind of journey we're gonna go on ahead of time. because I think it is important to, kind of let people know what we're going to be doing, right? So, this guided journey, this guided meditation, is going to be basically a bit of an isekai experience. There is going to be, um, there's going to be an adventurers guild. There's going to be the essential, a starter zone. There's going to be a short, very, very safe adventure. And and then after that, we're basically going to do a quick debrief. If people want to share experiences, you are open to. We will see how it goes. All right. So getting started here, I recommend closing one's eyes. That will probably work better. Um, I'm gonna at least keep one eye open because I gotta deal with some. Because adjusting OBS a little is gonna matter. So first thing was we're gonna just kind of do a little bit of meditation to kind of get ourselves into state. Um, in this case, I say, if you can, close your eyes. Focus on your breathing a little. Taking a slow, deep breath through the nose. Let it out through your mouth. Okay. Now, after you've taken a few slow, deep breaths, wow, my mic is good. It did not pick up any of my breathing sounds. If you're feeling relaxed, we could get into it being hyperrhythmic, but I think it's best to find your own pace. Deep breath. Let it out. Let it out. Dang, it really does not like picking it up. The filters are very good. But, yeah, deep breath. Let it out. Deep breath. Let it out. Now, when you're nice and relaxed, I want you to imagine a diamond shaped square. Square turned up kind of sideways with the points pointing up and down, left and right. Now, the square in front of you suddenly, square in front of you is going to be the gateway we're going to go through. We're going to activate the gate by calling on 4 forces. The first force is perception. We perceive the gate. The second force we're going to call on is going to be fortune, fate, luck, things like that, our connection to others and how we relate in the world. So as fortune kicks in, the kind of edge of the gate starts to glow a little. It gets a little more golden. Even though we can still barely see it, it's just kind of a square. Third force we're going to call upon is going to be spirit, which is also sort of synonymous with time. and space a little bit, but mostly time and will. As will comes into it, the whole thing kind of becomes ghostly, and you can almost see a door. And the last one we call in sensation. Force of like emotion, of really feeling a thing. And his feeling floods into the door, and the four forces connect. This door becomes solid and wooden. It has a warm feel to it. And as the door solidifies, there is the sound of music from the other side. This music may be a little too calm, but I'm gonna go with it. So, as the door is there, you reach out and pull the knob and open it up. And you can see a tavern. Right now, it's a very wooden place. There's a lot of browns, deep and rich. It's lit by firelight from lanterns about the place. It is cozy and inviting. You can definitely hear a fire crackling in the background somewhere. A nice fireplace. And you can hear the sounds faintly. Almost a little as if they should be there, but aren't quite there. Of people bustling and enjoying themselves. But right now, it's very quiet. It's pretty cozy and empty, except for you and one other figure, standing across from you at kind of behind what looks like a bar, but it's more like a desk or a clerk kind of thing, is a woman wearing brown leathers, a leather jacket or trench coat of some kind, a brown tri-corner hat, wearing a smile on her face. And she says, "Welcome to the Fate Mender Guild. Please, come forward." I want to tell you about what our guild does. We operate above and outside of this realm as a group of multiversal adventurers and explorers. I bring adventurers here, and I open a gate to these worlds, and they go in to mend fate there. By interacting with those worlds, it's like a needle. It presses in and comes back out, pulling thread behind it and slowly mending things that are broken. I'm really excited to meet you. Now, I'm going to be opening up a beginner's gate. This world is very easy on you. It's not going to be anything real hard. It's not going to be real scary. It's just going to be, a little adventure, just enough to start. And I'm sure as you go there, it's going to help you discover the skills and powers you have to be able to act in this world. Later, we'll have guild cards and stuff, but for right now, this is just to get your feet wet. She takes a moment to let it kind of sink in for you. And if this doesn't sound like something you want to do, that's okay. You can just, you can hang out here for a little bit, or if you want, you can take the door behind you, head back. But if you'd like to have an adventure, she beckons, and a door that wasn't there before another square diamond door opens, and there's a white light spilling out of it. And should you walk towards it and walk in, the white light gives way to a beautiful, brilliant, light blue sky. Bright green grass on a sunny day in a meadow. Butterflies dance around on the tall grasses and flowers in this field. In the distance, you can see forests. They look dark from here, and you know they're not meant for you. Not where you're meant to go yet, but very close at hand. So close that it's just behind you. There's another forest. The butterflies trail a little ways in. The grass moves down to the forest floor, but it slowly but surely becomes darker. Not so dark as to be frightening, just the dark of a nice, healthy forest canopy. But you know, this is where the adventure lies. And you suddenly realize that you have skills and abilities you didn't know you had before. In fact, you're wearing an adventurer's garb. Equipment, weapons, supplies, you have everything you need on you. And you didn't even realize it. And you can feel right on the edge of your consciousness that all these skills are about to bubble to the surface just when you need them. All you need to do is take a step forward and walk in. And so as you walk into the forest, it slowly grows darker. It grows shadowy, but your eyes adjust pretty well. And here, the branches are a little higher up. You mostly just have the bark of the trees, dark forest floor, and some occasional bushes here and there. And you hear something, a very slight rustle. Using your senses and looking around, you see a very small, jiggling round blue slime with little eyeballs. It seems that it sensed your presence. And you know that this is your first encounter. The slime seems nervous, poised on that edge between attack, retreat, discovery. It doesn't know what it's going to do. At this point, you can respond to this event however you like. The skills you need are right there. Your method of handling this is how you handle this. And giving a short moment, make sure that however you're doing this is how you want to do this. That slime, whether dealt with, whether befriended, run off, killed, whatever had to happen, it's now over. And you realize you still have more journey ahead of you. As you walk further into the forest, and it gets darker and deeper. The trees have grown further apart. You can tell that you'll be able to move around more, even though the canopy has become even more kind of all-encompassing. You can still certainly see because it's daytime and it's very bright out, but, you know, there's less stray shafts of light shooting down. And as you get further forward, you hear a rustling again. Only now, it seems to be coming from almost every direction. And out there in that darkness, you see lots of slimes. There's an air somewhere between mischievous and aggressive in them. They're very small. And as they start to surround you, you know they're going to attack. But an unbidden remembrance of the defensive skills you have rises to the surface. And you know, without a shadow of a doubt, whatever these things do, they're not going to be able to hurt you. And as the slimes attack, they prove singularly ineffective. The few who even make contact have no more effect on you than a toddler's punch. It's just the lightest of tapping. But in the meantime, your defenses have allowed you to weather a lot of these. And as they realize their attack isn't effective, they part and they start to back away before you begin taking offensive action against them. As they part, though, there is a more solid noise, and almost a solid sort of scrape, followed by a much larger slime coming into view. This one is not like the others. Rather than small and blue, it has a gray interior with a sheen to it, a shine like metal. This slime is dangerous. It is some kind of metal slime. As it surges to attack, your defenses manage to protect you, but the contact of it, there's enough to just have enough sting to let you know that this thing could hurt you if you let it. And as your defensive motions kick in, you realize it's not going to stop its assault until you stop it. But you have a special move, an attack, an offensive capability that you know could pierce through this. Even if your ordinary attacks couldn't, this one could in fact stop this slime, whether that means knocking it out, driving it off, or killing it. And as it becomes clear, you must in fact defend yourself, the technique comes to the fore, and you use it. Having driven off, or otherwise defeated the metal slime, the other slimes that were still hovering about on the edge of your vision run. This apparently was the gang leader that was holding them all together. Left alone, you're free to traverse further into the woods. As you continue on your way, you hear the sound of sniffling. Maybe not quite crying, but no, this is crying. Someone's hurt. As you hear the sound and approach further and continue on your journey, you spot someone who looks as if they have an injury to their leg. Looking at their size, the shape of their face, the way they look, you know that this is a younger adventurer. This isn't someone who really knows what they're doing yet. They're even newer than you somehow, even though you've just begun this journey. And that injury looks pretty bad. But once again, skills start to kind of rise up to the fore. You have a way of dealing with this. It might not be healing, it might be encouragement, it might be a temporary mend, it might be literal magical ability to completely see, to undo that wound. But that skill is there. And you know that helping them, this is part of that journey, of that fate mending, of making things right. And so calling on that skill, you help them so that that wound can be dealt with, and they'll be able to walk out of this forest and continue their own journey. When you finish, they may have a few words to say to you. They may have something they need to share with you. But they do let you know that there's a chest up ahead. They weren't able to open it themselves. They say you should have it for helping them. And having been helped, they feel confident in their own ability to, leave this place. But after a moment, they decide they're just going to follow you for the moment. They're just going to follow along until you can kind of lead them back out again. And so, traveling with this new companion, you go follow their instructions, you go a little deeper into the woods, and you find a chest. A bit of a ray of light has descended through the canopy to highlight it. You can see a slight metallic glint and a single butterfly on it. And the butterfly, as you approach it, lifts up and it flies off. And that butterfly lets you know this thing isn't a mimic. If it was a mimic, that butterfly would have definitely got eaten. But it is locked. It is sealed up. Could be trapped. Probably isn't. To get into this chest, you're going to have to call on yet another of your adventure skills. And once again, you can feel they're just at hand. Whatever it might be, whether it's a magic spell, your own lockpicking kit, or sheer brute force, or some other method, you're going to be able to get into this and get that treasure out. And when that chest is opened, you gaze upon that treasure. It shines in a way that lets it know it's just for you. What that treasure is will probably be different for everyone. And after taking a moment to take it in, you collect that treasure up, knowing it's meant for you, and you begin to walk back out of the forest. And as you walk, there's more greenery, slowly but surely. More shafts of light coming through. The dark shadows of the woods become brighter and brighter as you can hear Once again, a sort of gentle breeze coming in over this meadow. A few butterflies still dancing about, some flowers in the field. And as you reach this place again, you realize your journey has come almost full circle. The adventurer thanks you and heads off on their own way towards a different forest, towards their own adventure, leaving you behind as hanging in the air is a square, is another diamond that points up and down, side to side. And a voice asks, "Are you ready to come back?" After giving you a moment to ponder, the door solidifies and it opens up. And once again, you see the interior of a tavern. And the guildmaster who'd talked to you before, she's there again. She gives you a hand and helps pull you in, get you up there in case you're having a little disjunction or trouble. And the door closes behind you, and once again, you're in this warm, tavern-like area. Well, how was it? Tell me everything. And for a moment, she sits and listens as you share as little or as much of your experience as you like. And with experience shared, she's like, "Thank you so much for doing work for us. Really hope you come back again. You did a good job, and I think with the skills you've gained, it's going to be a lot easier the next time." And the gate you originally came from, still there, just in the wall, normal, plain as day. All you have to do to come back is to go up to it and open it. Oh, if anybody's having trouble with the door, she comes by and helps open it. It says you probably want to acknowledge the forces that helped get you here before you close the door on the other side, just so you know. So you get to the other side, you close the door, and quickly thank the forces that brought it there, those of sensation and emotion, of spirit, time, of fortune, fate, and luck, and of perception itself. And as each of those is acknowledged, the gate fades before you. You feel yourself back in your body, in front of your computer or your phone or wherever you happen to be. A few deep breaths, you can feel sensations returning to all your limbs, your fingers, your breathing getting more regular. And after a few few breaths. You feel ready and you open your eyes. And you're back. Okay. So, that was the guided meditation. What did people think? I am very curious. How'd that work for people who followed along from the start? Did anyone have an adventure, an experience? If you had trouble, let me know where. Because I want to I want to do more of these, and I would like to make sure they're good for people. And if you're watching this non-live on, YouTube or somewhere else, let me know, and I will do my best to, leave comments. Leave comments, and I can try to, you know, adjust things as needed. Really? I'm so glad, Corgi. I'm so glad. Are you okay if I ask you some questions? I'm curious what kind of defenses and attacks. I'm curious what things came up for you. Because I think it will probably be different for everyone a little. And I'd love to know more. Also, hi, Quattro. I didn't say hi earlier because, meditation mode. But, I do want to say hi. But yeah, I want to hear about anybody. If anybody has any experiences and they feel comfortable sharing, I would love to hear them. I can, because for me, I was mostly in guide mode. I wasn't really going through all the motions. You're the queen of the slimes? Oh my gosh, you're the slime queen? That's amazing. Did they all just like follow along and do what you wanted? That's incredible. Becoming the slime queen, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, I did this just like a very short time. I started going through all the steps of this. How I was gonna do this. Just a short time before I actually started this. Um so this is the basics of what kind of a guided meditation, doing a little journey can be like. Um in the future, I'm going to do about the same. It's going to work very similar. There is going to be some added elements if anyone's interested. I might turn off this music real quick. I think it may be keeping me a little too, what's the word? A little too relaxed, chilled out. Trying to get back into this world, get out of the other one. But yeah, it was a pretty fun time. Pretty fun time. Let's see. I think hands. But yeah, if that worked for you, even though you have like a degree of aphantasia, that makes me pretty happy. Oh, that's fine, Corgi. Well, thank you so much for being here. Hmm. I don't really have a second journey prepared right now, so mostly this is gonna be react to any kind of stuff. See that everyone's feeling good. Queen of the Slime Molds may be one of the best things I've ever heard. Yeah. I recruited all the little ones, melted the metal in the big guy, and they devoured what was left. Ooh. I sent the adventure home for harming the slimes. Oh gosh, they got in trouble. They got in trouble and turned the chest into a slime power up. Oh my god, it's so cute. It's so nice. That's a good way to go about it. They're all elementally charged now. Forbidden gumdrops. That's awesome. That is so cool. I love that. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. Hi, Lycander. Have you been here the whole time? Have you followed along? Or were you caught midway? No, but that's fantastic. I love that idea. You got a little gumdrop army. Which, the next time you come back, maybe you'll have them. Maybe you won't. It just kind of depends. This is sort of the intro, the beginner. But that's pretty cool. So yeah, like I said, every problem could be solved kind of your own way of doing things. You was listening. Mm-hmm. It's cool. It's cool. I hope it was fun. I hope it was interesting. I'm gonna probably do more things like this. I don't know whether I'm going to stream them or if I'm going to like YouTube video them and just have them together for people. I don't know. Do people think you'd have a preference on what like would they rather just have these as like things they could just play anytime, or would they rather do the live experience so like you can share the different kind of things you had happen. I'm just trying to get some opinions right now. But for me, that was fine. I had a good time. I like the, and maybe it's the game master in me. I don't know. I like creating little experiences like this and seeing what happens with people. And knowing at least one person had a pretty good adventure, I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty psyched. Can always do both. I can. I can't always do both. And I might do both. It's just I know that if I do it as a video, it can be a little more controlled. But then again, on the other hand, there is the advantage of doing it live and being able to make adjustments. Because people don't know, you don't always know how people are going to react because everybody's got their own psychology, their own way they work. Some people could go on a journey like this and end up crying and having really deep experiences, right? Like they could have something that's very personal and touching, but they could also go in and just have a really fun time. Or or maybe nothing. It just depends. Everyone's different. So having live, I might be a little better able to kind of help out if people have had a rough time or not. Mm-mm. So that's a thought. That's a thing. But yeah, that's pretty much the content for today, other than hanging out and discussion. So if people are mostly busy at this point, hmm, trying to think if there's anything else that needs to be covered. We are going to do more of these. The door visualization, that is going to be built into the guild cards, aka character sheets. I got some character sheets I'm working on. Hold on, let me see if I can get a version of it up here. If I can find it. It's kind of in its prototypey phase. It's not perfect yet, but it is a project in process, something like that. Mm. Trying to think where I got this. Something I know I was working on. Now I'm just trying to remember where I put it. I may have misplaced it a little. So it might take me a moment. Doodle-doodle-doo. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Problem with doing lots and lots of stuff is sometimes it's very easy. Oh, there we go. I think I found it. Now I just need to get this basically ready to go. So, yeah, this is very much prototypey level. So we're gonna get a version of this, but this is gonna be probably fancier looking by the time I'm done with it. But it'll give you an idea. I've made it specifically shaped so that if it were projected, if it were to be put on someone's phone, that it's the right proportions for it. So, uh-huh. Boop. Just get this ready. Get it so I can show it on screen real quick. Come on, OBS, we can do this. We can do it 9 times. I'll show you the sheet and some of the ideas involved. But yeah, I want a character sheet involved for a couple reasons. Oh boy, it's huge. It's huge. Let's get this reasonably sized. Right, so it is essentially an Adventurers Guild card. We will probably talk about the whole Fate Mender thing is kind of going to be the background, the setting for this, but some of the ideas that the different forces, perception, spirit, emotion. I think I'm gonna go with sensation. I think I'm gonna go with sensation over emotion. Perception, spirit, sensation, and fortune. Um, on the diamond, which is also the gate, but is also your character sheet. You can put these wherever you want. Hi, Maxwell. Hello, hello. You came here just after we got done doing the guided meditation, the journey. I'm talking about future projects a little. And good to see you. But so the character sheet, the way it works, is essentially setting up how we do things a little. I'm gonna change this some too. It's probably not gonna look like this anymore now that I'm looking at it, but um the idea going to be, in fact, I'm going to get rid of this right now because I think it's going to cause more confusion now that I look at it a little closer. So I'm just going to get rid of it. But some of the idea of the diamond gate, the square, gate up on its end is that each of the four corners represents not only a force but a different skill. And when uh when you make your character, it can be different every time you do the meditation, but it's a way to kind of get yourself set some expectations for how you're gonna end up in the guided meditation. And the idea would be that you kind of pair the different forces with different skills. So one of those forces is your attack, one of them is your defense, one of them is your heal, and one of them is your kind of your support, your more I don't know, things like movement, getting into things, etc. I guess maybe your skill, I don't know. But either way, that would be that's the idea for the setup, is that you kind of can set up your character ahead of time, and there'll be a little legend spot where you just put a description of what you want yourself to be like in the meditation. So that could be a class, it could be a monster type, it could be whatever you kind of want to be in your meditation. And so putting these things down is a way to anchor them in your mind so that when you do the meditation, you kind of end up the way things go in the thing. Mm. And so in future, it's going to be a little more specific. I will probably have Um, I'll probably have one like I'm planning on doing different isekai kind of experiences. So I'm gonna probably do a magic school one where you go to a magic school and you get to do cool magic stuff. I'm probably gonna do some more intense adventure ones where it's a little more crazy. I might even have a fight versus a nemesis type thing. I don't know. I'm gonna kind of explore as we go, try different ideas. But that beginner one is meant to kind of help promote and provoke ideas for what you might want to be like in this meditation in these other worlds. And I mean, mostly these are just for funsies, but it could always become something, you know? It could always become something more, depending. hmm Um, so yeah, that was our little guided meditation. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out and trying it out and hanging out with me. If you missed it, it's recorded, so you can check it out on your platform of choice and have fun with that. Okay. I'm thinking now that we finished that up, so it's time to go. Gonna talk about things. Coming up on Saturday, I am trying to pull some people together to play some Midnight Ghost Time. Or, if people aren't up for that, maybe some Wormtown. Or if people aren't up for that, then I don't know. We'll come up with something. But yeah, Saturday, 3 p.m. Plan to do some gaming. A little earlier in the day for those who can't do things later in the day. And yeah, I think that'll be it. Oh, I might have another. I might have a collab later on Saturday too. Mm. But that's the plan. It's a short week. This was the thing I most wanted to do. Get down, see how it goes. And I think it was fun. I think it was a good time. But now we're gonna go and raid somebody. We're gonna go explore the wide world of Twitchy.tv and give it the ratings. Could raid there. Mm-hmm. Could go there. What do you, Trying to think where's the best place to go. Hmm. Oh, did you just get partner? Okay. You know what? I think we'll go visit Yoshino. Yoshino is an amazing artist and rigger. Um, while I do not have a model from her because I do not have the funds to do that, she's incredible. She does a lot of tutorials and stuff, and she's one of the ways I was able to rig my own model. I learned a lot from her. She's very good. So we're gonna give her a raid. And our raid message will be the meditation guided us here. I think that's a good raid message. And we'll just do as far as any kind of emotes and that, we're gonna do just probably the hearts is cause yeah. Good for her. She's been working real hard to get that for a very long time, so the fact she's finally gotten it, good for her. She worked very hard. Alright, so thanks so everybody for going on little adventures with me. I'll see you next time. Okay. Bye. As soon as I can find my buttons, where are my buttons? Oh no, what am I doing?